So hello and welcome everybody. Welcome back to this next part inside of Houdini. And this part will be a little bit more about advanced shading and how we can do that. So I think we can jump right in. So we still have our scene from the last chapter and we will just jump into our camera and go to our render view. And let me see if I did make any adjustments here. I think yes, in the meanwhile, because I did play around with this scene a little bit. So I will just reset this and let me look here in the output. Also, if I did change anything here. Yes, I did. I did. And anything else? Limits? No, everything is okay. Everything is fine. Okay, perfect. So let's send Mantra to render. We will just simply click on render here. And hopefully there is no displacement activated. Let me check this quickly on the dog material. No, we just have this dog shader plastic. Well, it's not really plastic anymore, it's metal actually. And we will also call this dog shader metal in our material network. And I don't know if you ever worked with Octane or something like that, but there is a mix material. Some render engines have a mix material. And this is basically what we need to use to stack shaders together. And we can do this endlessly, basically. I mean, I only did find this this layer mix here, as you can see. So we just simply do a right click, go to mix, or type in mix, and then we take this layer mix and we just simply drop it here. And now we only need a second material, and I think I want to do something like maybe a rust material or something like that. So let's create just a new shader, right click, shaders, principal shader, and I will drop this down here and we'll call this, how will I call this? Dog shader rust. Okay, perfect. And now the only thing we have to do is to connect those two together. So here we have the layer output, and we just connect the layer output here to A, and this layer output here to B. And now we would have here, if we look into the layer, we would have a 50-50 mix. So this means 50% of this would be basically silver, and the other 50% would be basically gold. I mean rust. And I also think I want to change the silver material here to something like gold, maybe. Okay, that's not. Jesus, that's not good. No. This cannot be the gold material that we're looking for. Maybe more something like this. Yes, now we're getting closer. Yes, I do like this. Here you can write down the RG and B values if you like to. Roughness of 0.15 might be fine. We can get a little bit higher, a little bit lower. Really depends on how polished this gold is actually in the real world. But I think I do like the color actually, and this is like the most important part about this gold right now. And for the rust material, I think we can go something like maybe a little bit dirty greeny, something like that. Maybe a little bit brighter, maybe a little bit darker, not sure. Yeah. Not completely greenish like this. Well, maybe if we make it darker. Nah, I don't know, maybe something like this. This is really now me playing only around with colors, so nothing really important to be honest, but we're not only shading artists and lighting artists and 3D generalists, what do I know, we are also designers, and I think people sometimes forget this a little bit. We are also designing stuff. We try to make things look great, and color is also an important part of this work. So yeah, okay, so I think I can go with this probably. And I think for rust maybe I want to go with a lower IOR, something of 1.3, and the roughness maybe up to something like, I don't know, 0.75 or something like that. But as you can see, only the gold material gets still rendered, because this material here is still connected to our dog. So we have to go back to our object level, go into our dog, and here in the material we have to change this now. We have to give this here, of course, a different material. So we'll just simply say, okay, or we will not. Why? Why is it not here? Do I need to update that? Let me see, update textures. Does this help in any way? No, it does not. Okay, I think this is some kind of bug, to be honest. Why I'm not seeing this, but what I can also do is just simply, let's call this gold rust. And let's see if we find something now here in our material. If we click this drop down, no, we're still not. But we will just simply type in here now, dog rust. And I hope he can find this material. We will see this in a minute. No. It seems like this just simply does not exist. Why is that? Maybe I have to activate it like this. Material. Let's check this on. Maybe this makes a difference. Let's see. Yeah, now we can see it right here. And it was also not called dog rust. It was called gold rust. So sorry, this was my mistake. But now we also can see the material here. So let's click it. And it seems like don't forget to click on this material button in here. Otherwise it will not work. I have no clue why. But that's just fine. And now we can see what we're getting if we're mixing this together by 50-50. Probably something weird if we're just mixing the rust together and our metal material. And let me do something else as well. I think I want to do a little bit of a poly reduce so that this thing doesn't load that long. So as you can see, gold and rust is now put together. Doesn't look too shabby, I think. But we actually want to control this a little bit better over a map where we want to have the gold material, where we want to have our rust, and so on and so on. So we will do this a little bit differently. But anyway, let me reduce the polygons of this dog because this really, really drives me crazy actually. So let's go poly reduce. And I will drop it in here. And I will hit escape so that it stops loading. I'm not sure why I'm not able to use this here. Why would that be? Anyway, we will just output poly count number to keep. I think, oh my god, I have to check this here to manual so that Houdini doesn't work all the time as soon as I make a change. And we will just leave this here at 100,000 polygons, and I hope this will be more than enough. And so yeah, all right, okay, so let's hit here and refresh. Now we actually need Houdini needs to work now. It has to calculate this at least once. I hope this is working now. I'm not sure, I'm getting so many red flags, I'm actually a little bit scared here. Let's stop the render, let's go to the scene view maybe. And where's my dog? Come on. Let me click on this, and let me also turn this back to auto update. And I think Houdini is now working here. Analyzing geometry, reducing polygons. Here we go. 26, 32%, 37. Yeah, this takes a little while. But that's actually good. Good. Okay. Perfect. This should be done. Now I'm not sure why the rest is not working now, actually. That comes behind that. Because it should. Yeah, it does. It actually does. UV project. And my dog shader should also work. And now we'll just simply switch back to manual here so that it does not update in any kind of way. And I hope this is now helping. If not, we could also export this file now, how it is, with reduced polygons. But we'll just simply try a render now and see if it does start the render a little bit earlier now. Because I really don't want to wait so long for a single render. Yeah, okay, it's definitely faster than before, I think. Even though, of course, we're losing polygons now on this dog, I think it's still not that bad, actually. I think we still will have enough polygons to see what we are looking at, that these are two dogs, so shouldn't be really much of a problem. Okay, so let's jump back to what we really want to do. So we want to play around with some advanced materials. And as you can see, we have set this up, our basic gold, our basic rust. And now let's say we want to control this over a map. So we need to load this here in the alpha map. So everywhere where the black part is, probably the dark shader metal will be applied, and everything where the white part is inside this map, the rust will be applied. So we're basically only working with a black and white map, and this is of course what alpha is all about. So we will just do a right click here and type in texture, because we want to load a texture. Drop it here. Let's just call this rust control maybe. And let's also activate it here. And let's load here a map. And I will just go into my textures folder. You will get all those textures as well. You can just simply download this as a pack. And I will go with this metal glossiness new one. Let me show you this quickly here, because I don't have any chance here to make a preview. I have no clue why. Show images. Just as I said it, I have no there is no way that I can show you these images right here. Just doing a right click and click here on show images, and yeah, you can see your images. Perfect. Love it. So here is this map, so you can see a little bit of a preview. I'm not sure if I can make this bigger or not. But yeah. Let's just simply take this map and click on accept. And now we need to connect it, of course. Let's connect it here to the alpha. Bada boom, bada bam. And this should now, as you can see, restart our engine. And as you can see, everywhere where the, just a second, where the white part is, the rust gets applied. Let's look at this map, because it does look like this, as you can see. So we have a few black spots and we have a lot of white. And as you can see on the white spots, now the rust gets applied. And everywhere where we have those little black spots, our gold material gets applied. I think this is way too much rust, and also I don't like the green color. So we'll play around with this green color a little bit more. I think we will make it a little bit, well, let's say brighter. Maybe something like this. I think this looks good. I do like this. This actually looks a lot more natural than before, but it's still a lot too much rust, I guess. So there are two things we can do. We could actually flip this map so that we're not getting so much rust in here, or we could just simply try to put color correction before and play a little bit with the gamma. We could do that, we could try that. So let's just simply drop in a color correction actually, and let's just drop it in between there. And as you can see, it will connect automatically those two as soon, or it will connect in between when I'm doing it like this. And let's just simply do a left mouse click, and you can see it's now connected in between. Let's also activate this here, and now we can bring down the gamma maybe to something like, I don't know, 0.2 or something like that. Doesn't seem like our I think the output here is wrong, so we have to disconnect this here and now connect this from this node to this node actually. And now the red flag should be gone, and now we should also see a result, a correct result. And as you can see, yes, it does look good. We're getting a lot less rust now and a lot more gold, which I actually do like. We can even go down maybe to 0.1 or something like that. Alright. Okay, and let's say now we also want to create maybe a little bit of a third material. Let's say we want to add some red rust as well. So how do we do that? Actually pretty easy, of course. We can just simply drop a new shader, principal shader. Let's call this I don't know, red rust, and we will just simply make it kind of red, not this red, maybe a little bit darker, maybe not, yeah, maybe something like this. I do like that actually. Okay, and to mix this in as well, we need another map. So let's just create another texture for our alpha channel, and we will activate this texture, and we will also load now here a picture. And I think I will go this time with this scratch map, because if we use this map here again, it will just simply override probably the other rust if we're using the same settings here. So let's just simply take the scratch map here, click on accept, And of course, we also need now a new mix, a new layer mix, and we will just simply call this now gold rust underscore with underscore red. Okay, perfect. So we will just simply connect the gold rust here now into the A, and our red rust here into the B, and we will use this map here to control the alpha. Perfect. And now we'll just simply activate this. And I'm not sure why I'm getting here a red flag again. Absolutely no clue. Probably Houdini is pissed about something, and I have no clue what it is right now. Seems like it doesn't. Oh, I did actually connect here the surface and not the layer. This is why Houdini is pissed. Okay, so we need to connect the layer here to B, of course. Now it should work. And as you can see, we're not seeing anything because we need to change now the material on our dog, of course. So let's jump to our dog into the material, and we will change this here from gold rust to gold rust with red. And let's click on accept. And let's jump back into our material network. And as you can see, now we're also getting some red. Of course, this is a little bit too much for me now, this red rust. And also I don't like the red color. I think it could be a little bit lighter. A little bit lighter. Maybe something like, not sure. Yeah, maybe something like this. Maybe that is good. Yeah, I think this looks good. Okay, and we will change this map. We will drop another color correction. So right click, color correction. And let's activate this color correction, and we also need to fix this output here. I don't know why Houdini is doing that all the time. I have really no clue. Come on, let me delete this node, please. Okay, perfect, and let's connect this here now to the alpha and to the right channel here in the color correction. And now we will just simply pull down the gamma as well to 0.1 or something like that. And now we should have a nice mix between red, green and gold. So all three materials are now mixed together with different maps. Maybe we can up this here to 0.3 or something like that, because I don't really like how the red map is applied here now. Doesn't really look too good. It's probably because of the map. The map is probably not too good for this. I think we would need to use a different map here, maybe that looks a little bit better. Maybe not the scratch map. Let's maybe use good question. What could we use? We could maybe try wet map. I don't know if this works, but we could just simply try wet map here. Or maybe let's try this map here. Let's just simply load it and see what we get. We can now play around a little bit with different maps. Yeah, I think I like this one better. I think this looks good. So we're having some red and green rust applied now. We have still our gold material. The only thing is that our gold material really looks absolutely clean, which would be definitely not the case if this dog statue was really standing on the outside. So also our gold material would of course be a little bit damaged and so on and so on. So what we could do is we could load another texture. And now let's load here maybe, let's activate it first of all, and let's also load here this metal glossiness new one maybe. And we could connect this actually here to, let me pull this up here a little bit so you can see this better. We could actually connect this here to the roughness so that we're getting a little bit of a difference in the roughness. So right now it's everywhere, it does have everywhere a roughness of 0.15. And as soon as we connect this map now here to the roughness channel, this will change. 100% white will basically mean, okay, it will have zero roughness and will be completely reflective. Completely 100% black will mean it will have roughness at 1, which means no reflection whatsoever. And every grayscale in between will just simply give this map, will give the roughness accordingly. So if we have, I don't know, 50% gray, we will have a roughness of 0.5. If we're having a grayish color with 30% or something like that, we will get a roughness of 0.3. So this is basically how this works. So if we connect this here now to the roughness, this should definitely work. At least I hope so. Even so, I'm permanently getting any warnings. And as you can see now, we're really losing here some kind of reflection. And I think we're losing too much reflection right now, which I don't really like. And we could do two things now. We could open up Photoshop, load our map in there, and just simply play a little bit around with the settings in there, playing a little bit with the gamma or with the light, so we have a lot more white spaces in the map, so we're getting a little bit more of reflectivity. But I think we can just simply drop another color correction here and try to fix this here quickly inside of Houdini with a color correct. And let me activate this color correction as well. Yes, okay, perfect. And now we will just simply try to, I'm not sure, let's turn down the gamma to 0.1. And let's see if we're getting now a little bit more glossiness here. Yes, we do. Probably a little bit too much that I was hoping for. So let's drop the gamma maybe at 0.3 or something like that. So I still want to see a little bit of my gold material, but I don't want to see it like too, how can I say that? Like too glossy. I think it's still too glossy. I think we can go like something 0.5 or something like that. Maybe this was I think 0.4. Let's go with 0.4, and I will try to render this out now, so we can see a final result. Of course, this will be still a little bit noisy. That's for sure, because we didn't have optimized mantra in any single way. But yeah. And also what we still need to do, which normally we should do at last, because this will slow down the render engine by so much, we could also now set up some kind of displacement, of course, because the Rust would have, really depending on how close you are to the object, you want to use bump mapping or you want to use displacement mapping. Because if you, displacement mapping is really something that you, where you get really, really good details. When you're using a bump map and you're making close-up shots of this dog, maybe you probably will see that it's only bump mapping, which is not really good. So for close-up shots, you definitely want to go with displacement, because it just simply looks better. If you're more far away, you can definitely get away with bump mapping, because nobody will ever recognize if this is real geometry displaced or if it's just a fake bump map. But of course, it will give the object in the end a little bit more realism, because Rust, of course, is something that grows on the golds, so it definitely has some height to it as well. So this is why we should use here a bump or a displacement map. And I think 0.4 might be a little bit too much. And also, what I need to say, I don't really like how the maps are applied to this object right now, because it just looks like, I mean, I do like it down here. Down here it looks absolutely perfect. This is how I would love it. But here on the dog, actually, it looks like there are only streaks and stuff like that. Like it's painted on there. So this is not really what we would want to have. We would definitely need to change that. But for this tutorial thing, we don't really need to. Like I said, I really do like how it does look down here, but I really don't like it how it does look around here, because it just looks like it's really straight painted on this dog, which will never happen like that. Probably when the rain falls down, the Rust would probably fall down, and the drops would run down like this. So we would definitely need to at least change the map by 90 degrees so that it looks down at least. And then we would still need to make some adjustments so it looks a little bit more realistic. So yeah, but anyway, I need to make a sip of my tea now and also smoke my cigarette. But what do I want it to do now? Yeah, I think I will change this back to gamma 0.3. I think this looks just better. And so yeah, this is how you can use a roughness map. This is how you can, I'm not sure if we could control this roughness map maybe a little bit better. Maybe there's a ramp or something like that. Let me look this up. Yeah, there is a ramp. Ramp filter, what is the difference? Okay, I'm checking this out for the first time now, so just want to see what I can do here. Because what I basically want to have is, just a second. Okay, there was a ramp parameter. This is actually what could be nice for us. Oh yes, this ramp might be good. Because with this we could control the map a little bit more maybe. But I'm not sure if this will work like I think it will. Maybe it does. Because then I could just simply leave out the color correction and only use this ramp here if it gets applied over the map. but I'm not sure if this is happening with this ramp thing here. So we'll just simply leave it out. So the best way would be to really know what values you're using inside of this map to really get better control over this. Is just simply to make it in GIMP or in Photoshop or whatsoever, whatever you desire, to really nail down the black and white values that you want to have on this gold material. And so yeah, I think 0.3 might be even still be a little bit bad. Maybe we can even go down here to something like 0.25 might be good. Okay, alright, so this is how you can apply the roughness map. This is how you can apply or stack together different materials. Here you can see it again. Here we have our dark shader metal, and here we have our dark shader rust. And yeah, then we have just simply loaded a texture map and a color correction and brought this all in to our layer mix in the A, B and alpha to control this a little bit better. And then we added a red rust over that with another layer mix. And this is absolutely perfect, and this is exactly what we want. And yeah, so that's really, really good. You know now how to build a little bit of advanced shaders, and you also know now how you can apply roughness maps and so on. So this is kind of a short chapter, but this is how it goes. And yeah, in the next chapter we will talk about a little bit about render optimization. We will drop some more objects in our scene, give this different materials, and then we will see how we can optimize Mantra to get faster rendering. So thanks for listening for now, and I'll catch you in the next chapter.